What's up everyone, my name is Jackson Adamowitz. I'm a certified personal trainer. I also have a bachelor's degree in kinesiology with a concentration in clinical exercise physiology and psychology. And today we're going to talk about what it means to be a hybrid athlete. This will be a part of a video series about how to become a hybrid athlete, how to train like a hybrid athlete, all that good stuff. So if you have any suggestions for what you want to learn about hybrid athletes, or if you have any questions about what it means to be a hybrid athlete, leave them in the comments below and hopefully we'll answer those here in this video series. The goal of this video is to define exactly what it means to be a hybrid athlete. We're going to talk about some of the benefits of being a hybrid athlete, some of the potential drawbacks of being a hybrid athlete, and then we're going to talk about the stages of different hybrid athletes. So buckle up, grab your popcorn, and let's get after it. So what is a hybrid athlete? Essentially, this is somebody who excels in fitness across multiple exercise disciplines. So you might think of triathletes or multi-sport athletes. But more commonly nowadays, hybrid athlete refers to somebody who excels in an area of cardiovascular fitness and strength and muscle fitness. So some exercise disciplines that are included in that strength could include bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman competitions, Olympic lifting, and many others. For cardiovascular fitness, you have activities like running, swimming, cycling, ultramarathon running, and the list could go on and on. Being a hybrid athlete is becoming more and more popular because people want skill in multiple exercise disciplines at once, and it's not exactly the easiest thing to achieve. Another characteristic of a hybrid athlete is that there's typically a competition aspect involved. Generally speaking, hybrid athletes will compete in events like marathons, bodybuilding shows, powerlifting meets, triathlons, etc. Now, this competition aspect doesn't necessarily mean that they're always competing against other people. Sometimes they're competing against themselves, which means they're competing against previous times that they achieved or previous personal bests. This leads us into the next characteristic of a hybrid athlete, which is their mindset. Most hybrid athletes have that growth mindset, which is the idea that you can constantly increase your skill level, constantly improve to achieve whatever's next on the spectrum of whatever skill you're practicing. As I mentioned earlier, being a hybrid athlete is becoming more and more popular, and it has been made popular by athletes like David Goggins, Nick Bare, and many others. So why is being a hybrid athlete becoming more and more popular? Well, there are a lot of benefits to being a hybrid athlete. On one hand, you have the versatility and the well-roundedness that comes with excelling across multiple exercise domains, and that resonates with a lot of people. Another benefit is that it always gives you a new target to aim for. There's always room for improvement when it comes to being a hybrid athlete because you've got multiple disciplines that you're trying to excel in. That also makes exercise and workouts less boring. You're not doing the same discipline every single day. You're practicing across a broad spectrum of exercise disciplines. And then lastly, another benefit to being a hybrid athlete is that your friends and everybody around you will think you're pretty cool if you're doing really well in multiple areas of exercise. So those are the benefits to being a hybrid athlete. But are there any drawbacks to being a hybrid athlete? Yes, there are a few. Training is one of them. It takes a lot of time. So if you don't have a ton of time to dedicate to training or your fitness, you might not necessarily get to the upper stages of the hybrid athlete spectrum. I'm not saying it's not possible, but if you want to get to those higher levels, you're going to have to dedicate a lot of time to training. Another potential drawback is that theoretically, hybrid athletes are more prone to overuse injuries, training related injuries, just because they're training so much and they don't have as much rest or recovery as other athletes might have. Now, later in this video series, I'm going to teach you how to train like a hybrid athlete and also how to prevent injuries while training like this. So make sure that you stick around, hit that subscribe button, and check out that video when it comes available. And then along the same lines of overuse injuries, we have the possibility for overtraining. This is a symptomatic response for training too much and the body just can't tolerate it. You'll feel over-fatigued, your immune system starts shutting down so you might get sick more frequently, and you're just excessively sore from any type of exercise. Now, all of these drawbacks can be minimized with proper training and recovery techniques. However, if you're not training smart, those things could happen to you. Now let's talk about the fun part, the stages of being a hybrid athlete. I I've kind of developed a spectrum for ranking and rating different levels of a hybrid athlete. So we'll start with stage 1. Some people might not consider this a hybrid athlete, but I think I would. Stage 1 is simply meeting physical activity recommendation guidelines. If you're unfamiliar with these guidelines, it's essentially reaching 150 minutes of moderate intensity cardio per week or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity cardio. It also includes at least 2 muscle strengthening workouts per week. So if you think about it, you're getting a combination of cardio and strength training in if you meet these guidelines. Now you might be thinking to yourself, oh, well that's really easy. And honestly, I would agree with you. This should be the bare minimum for really anybody. However, less than 25% of Americans actually reach these recommended guidelines. So if you're a health and fitness advocate like I am, we should be promoting these guidelines to anybody and everybody. So stage 1, reaching those physical activity guidelines. That moves us on to stage 2. I call this the novice competitor phase. This is someone that meets those guidelines and then has added the competition variable into the mix. Perhaps they run a race every year, or they sign up for local 5Ks, charity runs, or events where they have to compete. To reach this stage on the hybrid athlete stage spectrum, they have to participate in these competitions while also maintaining that hybrid structure of workout. That means getting in strength exercises while also getting in those cardio exercises. Moving on from there, we've got stage 3. This is the goal-oriented hybrid athlete, or as I like to call it, the standard hybrid athlete. This is somebody who regularly participates in competitions, as we mentioned in the previous stage, and somebody who's constantly trying to improve their fitness or their statistics. This might mean improving your 5K time, their marathon time, improving their lift numbers, keeping an eye on their body fat percentage. This is where we incorporate that growth mindset component that really encapsulates the hybrid athlete. The next level up is stage 4. These are the elite hybrid athletes. This is somebody who regularly competes but who has reached an elite hybrid athlete milestone. Now, these milestones can be accomplished by ranking highly or placing or reaching a certain time in a certain competition. If this sounds very broad and general, that's because it's supposed to be. There are so many competitions and so many disciplines that can be included in the hybrid athlete spectrum. Some of the most popular competitions are these: qualifying for the Boston Marathon, placing first in a regional or a national level powerlifting meet, receiving a pro card in bodybuilding, qualifying for the Ironman Triathlon World Championships in Kona, and completing an ultra marathon. And as I mentioned, there are a lot more potential milestones that you could include in this list, but to be considered an elite hybrid athlete, you have to qualify for at least one. So next we have the highest level of hybrid athlete. This is stage 5. This is a world-class hybrid athlete. This is someone who has achieved at least 2 or more of those elite hybrid athlete milestones. So to reach this stage, you have to exercise across multiple disciplines and also make sure that you're including cardio and some sort of muscular strengthening exercise. And you have to accomplish at least 2 of those elite hybrid athlete milestones. So there you have it, the 5 stages of becoming and achieving greatness on the hybrid athlete spectrum. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier in the video, I'm going to be adding this to a series of what it means to become and train like a hybrid athlete. So in the next video, more specifically, we'll talk about what it takes to train like a hybrid athlete, how you can optimize your training and avoid potential injury. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and share this with anybody else interested in becoming a hybrid athlete. If you have any specific questions about what it means to be a hybrid athlete, leave them in the comments below so that we can address them in future videos. And also leave a comment about what you're currently training for and how you're planning on moving through the different stages of being a hybrid athlete. Once again, my name is Jackson. You can find me on all social platforms at Jackson Ryan Fitness. Thank you for joining me today. Let's go motivate other people with our actions. We'll see you guys for the next one.